Hello, everyone. A very warm welcome to the Pinterest Predicts 2024 webinar. My name is Martin Suki, and I'm a client partner for our CPG clients here at Pinterest. Today, I'm also joined by Insight Solutions partner, Aaron Schultz, and Senior Creative Strategist, Louise Kong. Over the next 45 minutes or so, we'll be sharing some of the breakout trends we see coming in 2024 as part of our annual Pinterest Predicts Not Yet Trending report. Now, some of you may be familiar with the information we're about to present today, and others, it may be brand new. But the great thing about today is that we will have a Q&A section at the end, and you have the opportunity to ask questions to the experts who worked on bringing the 2024 Pinterest Predicts report to life. As a marketer, you want to be able to see the next big trends coming, but keeping pace with the speed of culture today is no easy feat. Knowing which trends are actually worth investing in, that's even harder, especially with a new fad seeming to trend every single day on social media. The latest viral video hit that you saw on social media, that is not a trend. That is a fad. It won't capture your audience's attention for long. Fast fads, they might be fun to watch, but really, they're unpredictable. They come out of nowhere and they fade just as quickly. They give you a limited time of window to act and to make impact with your audience around it. Fads, they flicker. Fads, they fade. But trends, they have staying power. At Pinterest, we don't call a trend unless it's a true evolution in consumer behavior, a change in the cultural zeitgeist, a shift from the norm that opens up ways for you as a marketer, as a brand, as a business, to meaningfully connect with your audience. As we look to 2024, we predict 23 breakout trends for the year. We've curated a few of those trends that we're most excited to share with you today. Before we get into the good stuff, let's talk about how we got to our predictions this year. It's certainly not guesswork, and we have a fantastic track record. For the last 4 years in a row, 80% of the trends we called came true. And now I'll pass over to Aaron to go over how we made this happen. Over to you, Aaron.
Thank you, Marty. Hello, everyone. My name is Aaron, and I'm an Insight Solutions partner here at Pinterest. So let's take a step back to discuss how we got to 80% level accuracy over the past 4 years. To achieve this, we have a rigorous, best-in-class methodology built on future-forward predictive analytics. First, we set volume and growth thresholds to sift through the billions of searches that happen each month on Pinterest from people who are planning their lives and taking action. Then we layer in our machine learning-backed predictive methodology to ensure we're calling the most cutting-edge trends. After the initial pull, our cross-functional teams of creatives, strategists, and researchers come together to identify patterns in the data. We then distill our searches into distinct trends and then work with our external vendor Gauge Labs to ensure inclusivity and global representation. Accountability is at the heart of our process, which is why we consistently grade ourselves to make sure the trends we call continue to climb. And it pays off. As we said, 80% of the trends we called continue to grow for the last 4 years in a row. We do the work, but the real secret ingredient behind our trends is in our audience. People on Pinterest aren't here to passively scroll like they do on other platforms. In fact, 88% of people who use Pinterest weekly use Pinterest for decision-making. And that's because they're here to plan, whether their next meal, their next look, or their next home upgrade, and they're primed to act when they're open-minded, open to brands, or are ready to make a purchase. It's their planning mindset that makes our trends uniquely future-forward. It's how we know what's next. But it's their purchase intent that makes trends on Pinterest even more valuable for you as a marketer. Here's why our trends on Pinterest work harder. They start earlier, they last longer, they're more actionable than ever before. So let's go over each of these in more detail. Pinterest is the #1 platform where people go to plan. Because of our audience's planning mindset, trends on Pinterest start earlier than elsewhere on the internet. So you can get ahead of the next big trends coming way before the competition. Trends on Pinterest don't just start earlier. Trends on Pinterest last 20% longer than trends that show up elsewhere online. What this means is that the life cycle of a trend on Pinterest is longer, giving you more runway to take advantage of it as a marketer, while still driving cultural impact beyond our platform. When we call a trend like dopamine dressing, we don't just see it catch fire on Pinterest. It takes hold in the media, in the conversation online, not to mention in your consumers' wardrobes. The third reason why trends on Pinterest work harder for you, they're more actionable than ever before. Not only can you get on trends early and run campaigns with a longer lifespan, but you can reach an engaged and active audience on Pinterest ready to shop trend-related content. For example, we saw a 50% year-over-year increase in click-throughs for all Pinterest predicts trends from last year. We also see a tendency for action across key age groups that matter to you. Gen Z tends to save at a higher rate across Pinterest predicts 2023 trends when compared to all other age groups. We also found that 70% of Gen Z predicts related boards are shop dominant boards, which are boards on Pinterest in which more than half of the pins are product pins, thereby showing that Gen Z pinners that save a predicts related pin are engaging with shopping content on Pinterest. So as you can see, people aren't just coming to Pinterest to search for trends. They're also planning, saving, and shopping them. In fact, we looked back to see how our audience has engaged with our Pinterest predict trends from the 2023 report. Let's take a closer look at one of the trends, airy styles. We observed that audiences weren't just searching for airy styles, but also engaging and taking meaningful action. We saw a 300% increase in saves of shoppable pins related to airy styles, and a 410% increase in outbound clicks to merchant sites. This example highlights how our predicts trends not only capture emerging consumer behavior from search, but also in saves and click-throughs, indicating a shopping behavior. And now I'll pass you over to Louise to go over a few real-life success stories of brands using predicts trends on their campaigns and how you can take action.
Thank you, Aaron. Hello, everyone. My name is Louise Kong, and I am a senior creative strategist at Pinterest. So just as Aaron was saying, as marketers, you need a cultural catalyst that creates value for your brand when you invest into it. You need trends, not fads. Trends that start earlier and last longer. Trends that inspire real action from your customers, and trends that are going to give you more bang for your buck. You need big, long-lasting trends that can drive real impact, not just fleeting fads that only last a few days before they're forgotten. So with that said, let's look at a couple of examples of how brands have used Pinterest predicts trends in the past to create unique and engaging experiences that help drive brand awareness, engagement, and sales. So Pinterest predicts 2023 called out the home front trend due to the rise in searches for things like front door transformations and foyer entryway decor ideas. This trend was the perfect match for Dulux's Weather Shield paint product. Dulux implemented a multi-objective approach that targeted a broad audience with inspo-worthy ad creative that featured the Pinterest predicts trend badge to drive awareness and product consideration. To gauge the impact of the trend badge, Dulux crafted assets both with and without the badge's distinctive border. And when comparing these variations, it became clear that the trend badge was a game changer. The use of the trend badge resulted in a 23% higher ad recall, a 21% higher CTR, and a 1.6 point lift in action intent, demonstrating how it can effectively enhance brand visibility and engagement on Pinterest. Next up, we have an example from Maybelline. Maybelline's Brave Together initiative is aimed at peer support for youth who are struggling with mental health challenges. Maybelline sees the now processing trend identified in Pinterest predicts 2023, aligning with alternative mental well-being practices. The campaign featured creators and engaging video ads during Mental Health Awareness Month, highlighting mental health resources and personal stories. This campaign was a perfect example of a brand leveraging a cross-category trend instead of focusing on a beauty trend, which enabled Maybelline to speak to wellness, an important adjacent interest, and open up access to a whole new audience on the platform. Maybelline's use of the trend badge led to a significant impact. The inclusion of the trend badge resulted in a whopping 7x increase in program awareness compared to Pinterest benchmarks. The campaign also resonated with Gen Z in particular, with this audience showing a 20% higher association between Maybelline and mental health than other demographic groups. So as you can see from these stories, leveraging Pinterest Predicts trends can result in a great success for your brand on the platform. But we know what you're thinking. How can I take action? So the great thing about our trends is that there are a variety of ways that anyone, from a small business to a global brand, or even a creative agency, can harness the power of Predicts and supercharge their marketing game. There's no one-size-fits-all approach here, but our goal is to show you how Predicts can be your secret weapon, regardless of your size or resources. So let's dive in. Not only do trends on Pinterest inspire real action from people on Pinterest, they also offer broader opportunities for you as a marketer, business, or brand. For example, these trends can influence product innovation. Think beyond marketing and use the power of our data and predictive trends to inform your product roadmap, reimagine existing offerings, or design entirely new products. Use them as a springboard to craft creative concepts, brainstorm fresh storytelling ideas, and help your campaigns stand out from the crowd. And finally, don't just stop with one campaign. Let these trends guide your content strategy all year long and develop a content calendar that will keep your brand relevant and your audience engaged. Another way you can take action on a trend is by sponsoring one. A Pinterest Predicts trend sponsorship is your brand's opportunity to be ahead of the trend curve and create campaigns that meet audiences exactly where we predict they'll be. Reach your audience when they are just starting to search for ways to integrate a trend into their life, but they are still undecided about the way to get there. You can make your brand the solution. In fact, campaigns featuring the co-branded Pinterest trend badge had a 2.4x improvement in conversion rates compared to those that didn't. You'll get exclusive rights to a specific trend in your country, including a specially branded Predicts badge for your ads. You can also get access to hands-on creative support. To learn more about these premium opportunities, please reach out to your Pinterest account team. And just one quick call out. Please note that these sponsorships do not include shopping ads created from your catalog on Pinterest, but you can still use our trends to help inform the creative of your pins and ads, which takes us along to our next slide. If you are a managed advertiser, you also have access to our Pinterest Predicts persona profiles. What are personas? Personas are Pinterest's newest custom audience solution, which enable you to target bespoke audiences that matter to your business. It helps you reach customers that search, engage, and create with Predicts content. If you're not a managed advertiser, not to worry. You can still access the Pinterest Trends tool to learn more about what's trending on Pinterest. This self-serve tool gives you the power to become your very own data-backed trend spotter. Visit trends.pinterest.com to enable real-time, actionable insights to increase performance. In fact, the Pinterest Trends tool is the only industry tool that lets you filter by trend type, aka growing trends, top trends, or seasonal trends, keywords, date range, age, interest, or gender. And now I'll pass back to Marty, who'll kick us off with a few trends from this year's report.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Lou. So now that you know how you can use trends on your future Pinterest campaigns, let's take a look at some of the trends from this year's Pinterest Predicts report. First up, Be Jelly. As the great Kelly, Michelle, and Beyonce once said, are you ready for this jelly? Get ready for a wave of squishy inspiration as the jellyfish aesthetic takes over 2024. From home decor to fashion to beauty ideas, a whole mood will bubble up in 2024 inspired by your favorite invertebrate. This trend is being driven by Gen Z and millennials who are really drawn to the calming, ethereal, and otherworldly nature of the jellyfish. To ensure these are indeed trends and not fads, we analyze over 2-year periods of data capturing English language queries from all over the world. These are some of the terms we uncovered during our analysis that helped us identify the people were indeed crazy about jelly. Jellyfish haircut, jellyfish umbrella, even jellyfish lamp. Now, I know what you're thinking, this is great, but how do I actually use this on my Pinterest campaign? Great question. There's so many different ways that brands can plug into Be Jelly. If you're a hobby and interest brand, think about the possibility of ways to add a smidge of squish to your home decor, look, and life. If you're a fashion brand, from haircuts to style, deliver a stream of ways to jellify pinner looks for that undersea aesthetic. If you're a tech brand, share videos and tutorials on how to turn your tech into jelly vision with backgrounds, sea-inspired products, and new accessories. Next up, and my personal favorite, melty mashups. Yum. In 2024, Gen X and Boomers will feast on an all-new food fusion that we call melty mashups. This trend takes two ooey-gooey, treat-yourself favorites and marries them to make mouth-watering mashups like burger quesadillas and pizza pot pies. Culinary creativity does not seem to have limits. Who wouldn't want to try a cheeseburger taco or a gummy candy kebab? Here are some of the terms that people are using to search this trend: carbonara ramen, cheeseburger tacos, and burger quesadillas. If you're a food and bev brand, perhaps explore thumb-stopping video techniques that show how your products complement trendy recipes to form delicious new pairings. If you're a home brand, take inspiration from mashed up recipes by working with creators to show multiple design trends that could be styled together. If you're an entertainment brand, combine delicious pairings with double features or binge watch ideas inspired by mashed up foods. Next up, dirt flirts. Let's take a look at how we will travel in 2024. We have two travel trends that operate on two sides of a spectrum. Our first trend being the extremely adventurous, it's called dirt flirts. It's all about off-road camping, off-road car, off-road wheels. These rising search terms say it all. Things will get adventurous in 2024. Boomers and Gen X will load up their 4x4s and make for the mountains, or at least look like they are. Terms driving this trend include overland gear, off-road campaign, adventurous car. Off-roading, it can easily be both an aesthetic or a lifestyle. If you're a travel brand, lead pinners to discover their ideal off-road destination and how you help them get there using quiz ads. If you're an auto brand, get into the details of off-roading adventuring, from camping gear storage to four-wheel drives to help pinners really get out there. Lastly, if you're a tech brand, use showcase ads to highlight features that make a difference in the wilderness, such as longer battery life, waterproofing, and coverage maps. Next up, kitchens. A few of our home trends this year, they're really moving away from traditional home aesthetics into a more expressive space. So say goodbye to traditional farmhouse kitchens and say hello to kitschy kitchens, or as we like to call them, kitchens. They say the party always moves to the kitchen, but this year the party is the kitchen. Gen X and Boomers in particular will elevate their kitchen designs and cooking areas with thrifted finds, vintage appliances, and eye-jarring pops of paint. Taking a look at some of the trending search terms, this covers everything from eclectic kitchen decor to green kitchen paint, even a centric kitchen and retro pink kitchen. Here are some of the ways you could implement this trend. If you're a home brand, use a multi-image format like showcase ads to highlight brightly colored accents, appliances, or art in a single kitchen scenario. If you're a paint brand, we saw one of the top searching terms was green kitchen paint. So we recommend making eccentric color trends accessible. Encourage sampling with palettes that pair bold brights with calming neutrals for walls and trim. And if you're a food brand, dial up that eccentric nostalgia with pin creative that mimics retro recipes. Encourage saves from pinners. Bonus points for digging into your brand's recipe archives. To take you through the next trends, I'll pass back to Lou. Oh, I won't pass back to Lou. I'll take you through this next one. Lastly from me is Blue Beauty. So bold continues to be a theme for 2024, and this trend is called Blue Beauty. Aquamarine makeup is back and it's bolder and brighter than ever. In 2024, Gen Z and millennials will search for blue glam makeup and pastel blue eyeshadow as they find new ways to incorporate this 60s staple into their modern beauty routines. The best part, the blue hue, it looks really striking on all skin tones. So you can even try this for yourself using the skin tone ranges filter on Pinterest. Some of the trending terms behind this trend: fun blue nails, aqua makeup look, and even blue eyeshadow aesthetic. Ways to incorporate this: if you're a beauty brand, think about combining blue shades with throwback areas for something new. Pair a Y2K aesthetic with electric blue eyeliner or add baby blue highlights to a 90s hairstyle. If you're a home brand, bring blue-inspired paint and decor collections to life using collages, or a this or that style quiz to help pinners find their perfect match. Lastly, if you're a travel brand, inspire people to visit some of those beautifully blue destinations in the world, everywhere from the Maldives to the Côte d'Azur. Now, I'll pass over to Lou.
Thank you, Marty. So this next trend is a personal favorite of mine called hot metals. Get ready for a dazzling display of cool silver tones and bold chrome as the melty metallics trend makes its way into the mainstream in 2024. This trend is being driven by Gen Z and millennials who are embracing the edgy, futuristic, and glamorous heavy metal vibes. Silver and chrome are no longer just for accents. They're now taking center stage in fashion, home decor, and beauty. Some of the growing search terms driving this trend include nail art metallic, aluminium furniture, and silver layered necklaces. Here are some of the ways that you can incorporate this trend into your campaigns. If you're a home brand, use showcase ads to create a style guide that helps people introduce a touch of chrome into their home. If you're a beauty brand, here are luminous beauty products, from highlighters to shimmery shadows. Use our carousel format to create swipeable 5-step skincare and makeup routines. Or if you're an automotive brand, rev up the feed and create collections ads that promote your chrome and metallic models. This next trend is an ultimate all-rounder, from food to beverages to the matching fits. It's called Tropic Like It's Hot. In 2024, our favorite foods, home decor, and fashion finds will get the tropical treatment. Boomers and Gen Z are driving this escapist aesthetic, complete with hibiscus prints, tasty mocktails, and a whole lot of hot pink. Searches are on the rise for pineapple mocktails, tropical chic decor, coconut aesthetic, and more tropical treats. So how can you add a tropical twist to your campaigns? Well, if you're a food or drink brand, use videos to serve up recipe inspiration for the cocktails, mocktails, and tasty tropical treats people are searching for. If you're a travel brand, inspire people to take a real trip to the tropics by working with creators to promote the tropical destinations that they call home. Or if you're a financial services brand, promote your best financial tips or products to help travelers plan the trip of a lifetime. Next up, we have a very cute trend called inch stones. What I love about this trend is that it's all about celebrating the small yet meaningful milestones in a child's life, beyond just the expected or the more traditional ones. Parents and caretakers in 2024 will find any excuse to celebrate, as their kids' teeny triumphs and not so grand moments get the party treatment. So as you can see, this trend is all about finding the little ways to commemorate everyday achievements. And we're noticing that in the terms people are searching for, such as monthly milestone ideas, potty training rewards ideas, and my first tooth party. Again, here are some ways that you could implement this trend. If you're a parenting brand, equip parents with a timeline of their child's food journey, aligning to celebratory moments with the introduction of healthy eating habits. If you're a retail brand, share 12 small and thoughtful gift ideas that include baby developmental facts and educational tips, one for each month of the first year. If you're a financial services brand, empower parents to secure their child's future by highlighting how small, consistent savings at key milestones can lay a strong financial foundation. And the last trend for today is all about coffee. Meet Cafe Core. Move over bar carts. This year, we will see boomers and Gen X bring the coffee shop vibe inside. But please note, this trend is so much more than just being about a coffee maker or a French press. People are actually going to try to recreate the full cafe experience within their own homes beyond just the brew. They are setting up their in-home cafe menus by searching for cafe chalkboard and looking to perfect their coffee stations with coffee station decor and coffee bar styling ideas. So here are some ways that you can tap into this trend. If you're a home brand, use collections ads to recommend products that belong in the ultimate home coffee bar, from chic mugs to countertop-worthy appliances. If you're a home improvement brand, inspire people to make a coffee bar their next DIY project. Make idea-ed tutorials that teach people how to build floating shelves and beautiful storage solutions. Or if you're a hobbies and interests brand, show people how to make beautiful handwritten coffee bar menus in chalkboard calligraphy using time-lapse video techniques. And now I'll pass back to Marty.
Thank you, Lou. And again, this is just a handful of the 23 trends that are featured in our Pinterest Predicts 2024 report. We really do encourage you to explore the other trends at your leisure and find the ones that speak most to you and your brands. We want to say thank you so much for your time today. To see the full report, please use this QR code, or we will drop a link to the report in the chat box. We know that we've covered a lot of information today, so before we fully wrap up, we just want to take a few minutes to answer some of the questions from our audience. Please give me a moment while I flick over to our Q&A and see some of the questions that have come through. Thank you to everyone that has submitted questions. So the first question looks like one that I can take, which is, how are Pinterest trends more valuable for advertisers and merchants than other trends on the internet? I think a pretty consistent message from us today is that what we predict are trends, they're not fads. Whereas other fads come and go rapidly, our trends stay longer. They start earlier, they last longer, and they do really drive consumer action. This plus that unique commercial intent of the Pinterest audience, I think that's what makes our trends really uniquely valuable and actionable. I would look at Pinterest Predicts as almost a cheat sheet for advertisers who are sitting down and looking to plan out the rest of their 2024 marketing campaigns. Move on to a second question. Lou, I might throw this question to you, which is, where can we find more ideas on how to interact with the trends?
Thanks, Marty. So you can find more information and ideas on how to interact with the trends at the Pinterest Predicts site, so pinterestpredicts.com. There's lots of thought starters there for all the different verticals similar to the ones that we took you through today. And I would also recommend checking out the Pinterest business site because then you can see case studies from previous years' Pinterest Predicts programs from around the globe, which you can use to spark your own ideas.
Thanks, Lou. I had another question in here, which I can take, which is, do you find any similarities between these trends and US trends? The Pinterest Predicts 2024 report is actually based on global trends. The idea being that all these trends can be reflected in everyone and everyone can see these trends within themselves. There are some similarities globally, but you will find some differences locally. You can work with your Pinterest team to find if trends within your particular country are growing at a faster rate. So do encourage you to reach out to your Pinterest account team on that. Next question. Aaron, I might throw this one to you. was what other audience segmentation for the trends is there beyond age?
Yeah, so our main segmentation is obviously looking at things by generation, but we also cut things by category. We look at gender, and because we want to make sure our trends are globally representative, we do cut things by geography as well.
Thank you, Aaron. I'll find another question here. Lou, I might throw this question to you. It was around, can you share any more actionable tips or strategies for incorporating these trends into existing marketing efforts?
Yes, I would say that, aligning to a trend doesn't have to mean necessarily creating net new content all the time. So if you have already planned out your marketing for the year or already shot a campaign and you're wondering about ways to incorporate a trend, sometimes it can be as simple as adding a bit of text overlay to nod to that trend and give an asset a new meaning. So I would recommend taking a look at that full report and seeing where you can really find the overlap or the synergy between some of the trends and what's on your marketing calendar and what your business has planned for the year, and use those thought starters for inspiration.
That's fantastic. I've got a question here. I'm a content creator for social media. We're achieving excellent results in our traffic campaigns on Pinterest, and we want to invest more in Pinterest. What do you recommend for us to grow in 2024? I promise that is not a planted question. That is a genuine question that's come through, and I love to see it. Simply, I would say reach out to your Pinterest rep. There's so many ideas I could throw to you around working more with video, building more of an awareness strategy, a flighted strategy, template strategies, but really it comes down to the exact goals you're trying to achieve on the platform. We're really confident all the product developments we've had over the past 12 months with our new leadership, we truly are a full funnel platform and can play multiple roles for you. So please do reach out to your Pinterest rep. If you're not sure who that is, I'll connect with us after the call. Okay. Lou, maybe a question for you here, which was that some of the examples through the presentation, they showed bigger brands. How can my small business take advantage of Pinterest Predicts?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I would say definitely don't think that because you're a small business, these trends aren't for you. I actually think that, there is a benefit to being a small business when it comes to tapping into trends. You have the ability to be a little bit more agile, perhaps not as many approvals or hoops to jump through that some larger brands have to navigate. So I would definitely recommend embracing a real test and learn approach when it comes to taking advantage of Pinterest Predicts trends. I'd recommend, finding trends, taking a look at that full report and find the trends that really resonate with your brand or product, and think about how your brand or product could really help either directly enable one of those trends or perhaps act as a complement to a trend, and use that as a jumping off point for creating content that's aligned to trends. And then the last thing I would say, that outside of Predicts, everybody, so small businesses included, all have access to the Pinterest Trends tool. So that's going to be your best friend to really find out what is trending on a week by week, month by month basis, to really make sure that the content that you're making for Pinterest is going to be as relevant and effective as possible.
Thanks so much, Lou. Might have time for 2 more questions here. Aaron, I might pass this one to you, which was, are there specific industries or sectors that Pinterest focuses on when making trend predictions?
Yeah, so we don't really go in with any bias or have specific industries that we look at when we're going through the data. We want to keep a very open mind, but we do look at a broad range of cultural and social movements that we see happening on Pinterest to ensure that the trends are actionable across multiple categories and they're not just siloed into one industry or vertical.
Fantastic. I believe we've covered majority of the Q&A questions there. So I think I'll take this opportunity to just thank everyone so much for dialing into the call today, making the time. We certainly do appreciate it. If there's any follow-ups, please do reach out to us after the call. But all we would love to say is thank you so much for joining us and wishing you a great day ahead. Thank you.